Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to this Relationship Thursday. Sorry, it keeps changing up on me. Yes, to this Relationship Thursday, where this week our topic will be no excuses, no apologies, but my husband may not be black. And this is coming from my series entitled The Husband Chronicles, where basically I share different situations, different issues that I had to go through in order to be ready to accept the husband that God says that He has for me. So if that's your kind of thing, stick around. My name is Sheila Rollins, and I am the founder of H.U.L.A Ministries Entertainment and Associates Inc. And on this YouTube, we are Overcomers Anonymous, where we support anyone desiring to overcome anything, and we do it through Jesus Christ as our higher power and what He's accomplished on the cross for us. So if you haven't already, why don't you become a regular part of our YouTube family? Basically, by touching the word subscribe, and at that time, a bell will come up. When the bell comes up, touch the bell, and then you'll see the word all. And then that way, touch all. And that way, every time I do a new upload, you'll receive a notification. So basically, the reason why I'm saying that my husband may not be black is because when I read in the Bible about Moses' story, being an Israelite, where he had married the Ethiopian woman, and his sister and his brother basically complained about it, and God was not pleased with that, and God had Miriam turn into a leper. Remember that story? So from that, to me, I only need one story. I don't need a million stories to make me understand the message that God is trying to send. That marriage evidently was ordained by God, okay, and that they weren't together because, or they weren't not together because of being different nationalities. That evidently did not matter to God. But evidently, God saw fit that though she was an Ethiopian woman and he was an Israelite, a Jewish man, that God saw fit that that was the best mate for Moses at that time. And so the thought before, it's like I never thought about before, like going outside of my race. I guess because I was raised by a really, really prejudiced mother and grandmother, and they wasn't having that kind of thing. Even though like some other family members done it, and my mother, she welcomed, you know, um, somebody else outside of our race and loved them. I still, it just was never in my mind. And I guess the thing that makes it in my mind now is just knowing that God is not against it. Okay. But the thought of possibly not being with a black man saddens me. And as a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I've cried about that. I really have. I really have cried about that because it was my desire to not give up on the black man. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that my husband won't be black, but I'm just saying that to basically explore this topic or this issue, with me is it's just kind of great. And I guess the thing that saddens me is like just giving up. When I think about giving up, I think it makes me think about like my parents separating and, going their separate ways, and basically how I was left. Even though, my father left my mother, in essence, to a degree, he left me as well. And so when I think about like not being with a black man, that's how I feel. Like I'm leaving them. And it saddens me. And it makes me feel like I'm doing something that I said that I would never do. Okay. But how many beatings do I have to take? how many times do I have to be used and abused and mistreated? And like I said, while I've only dated a certain type of guy, and certainly I'm not saying that that's across the board. And even I'm not even saying that, because I've experienced abuse from the black man, that it's all black men, or that other races don't have abuse. That certainly is not true, because I have been in many a meeting talking to a lot of my white sisters, okay, Spanish sisters, or whatever, and talking to them, and they share the abuse that they had experienced from their white counterpart. Okay, so I'm not saying that I only, we'll only experience abuse from a black man. Heck no. I think that the less in touch that a man is with God and himself, that the more abuse a woman will experience with that man. Okay. So, the situations that I have experienced has basically led me to where I am in my life right now. And where am I? Basically, like, it's a part in the Bible, and I may not say it right, but it goes something like this. Basically, to not let, don't attach your feelings or your emotions to a man until you prove him. Okay. After my divorce, I wasn't interested in getting in a relationship or getting married again. Okay. The only reason why I'm embracing this is because God says he has a husband for me. Outside of that, I wouldn't be doing it. Okay. Because one marriage was enough for me. But God is my God, and I think I trust him, and this is what he has for me, so I'm embracing it. So I think it's a good thing for me to have the mindset that I can accept another race. I can accept whoever it is that that God would have for me. I have seen many interracial couples um, that didn't make it, that ended up like breaking up or that kind of thing. On the other hand, I have seen a lot of couples that are same nationality that are happily married. On the other hand, I have seen a many interracial couple that is happily married. Okay. So I just think that the whole ideal is like God bringing people together and we being obedient to God. I just don't want a situation where, like, Hosea, and I think her name was Homer, where God is trying to show in my marriage what He's experienced from, His people, and have me take on a man that's a whore or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, listen, I've had enough of that. Okay. I don't need that. I get it. I get it that, God's people haven't all been that faithful. And that's another thing. And maybe I could talk about that next week. Basically, like, what caused me to be faithful to God now. You know what I mean? Where in times past, I was not faithful to God. And I wanted somebody, a man, to be faithful to me. And they weren't. Okay. None of them were. Okay. So basically, that's all I have for you. And, okay, while I say that my husband may not be black, certainly does not mean that he's not. So basically for me, it doesn't matter whether he's black, whether he's white, or whatever he is. If it's truly the husband that God has for me, I would embrace him no matter what his nationality is. So basically, that's all I have for you. I love you. Continue to pray for me, my 103 subscribers, and I'm praying for you and everybody that has took the time to visit and stays for the whole time. Remember to share everywhere with everyone on all social media platform, okay, and to subscribe everywhere, encourage subscription everywhere. And remember to subscribe yourself. I love you. See you in the next YouTube.